Don't you love it when Tony Khan opens his mouth when he shouldn't? I know I do. Let's talk about it right now on In This Very Ring. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to In This Very Ring, right here, live on A2D Radio. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, or you're listening back to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast needs. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I am the man known as Ritz, and joining me as he does each and every Friday night, the man formerly known as Butters Cheeseburger.
Formally?
You have a microphone.
Formally?
So, funny story about that. So, I was talking today about the show at work, and I mentioned Butters, and Ben, really good friend of mine at the office, said, you know, every time I see him, I don't think his name is Butters. I think his name is Cheeseburger. And I told Ben that's how I'm introducing Butters tonight. Ben. Big shout out to Ben.
No. Beanie Weather's back. Beanie Butters is back. Let's do this.
Beanie Butters?
Okay.
The hell is no. That's that Beanie Butters. All right, got it. Cool. I love it here. This episode of In This Very Ring is brought to you by our friends at Alonzi Travel. Alonzi Travel specializes in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Alonzi on over to alonzi-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself, Chuck Sparanin, or any of the other talented travel agents at Alonzi Travel. And we also send them another big shout out for hitting silver earmark status with the Disney earmarked program. Woohoo! So I do love social. I love social media, but I hate social media.
Don't we all?
So everybody's aware that Monday night, it was announced Jinder Mahal versus Seth Rollins for the title next week on Raw. Exciting match. It spawns from Jinder, returning 2 weeks ago when on day one, they bring out The Rock, all that, whatever. Awesome for Jinder. Love that. And then Tony Khan, in his infinite wisdom, decided to get on Twitter. Which brings us to our topic of conversation today, brought to you by our friends at SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Tony Khan should be held to a higher standard on social media. Agree or disagree? This black sweatshirt wearing doofus got on Twitter.
X.
Who cares? X, Twitter, Mahoiva, it doesn't matter.
Musk cares. It's his foot.
I don't care. Right? So he gets on Twitter. This is Tuesday night.
Yarp.
Okay? And he tweets out double standard. Hook 28-1 career record on winning streak calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Jinder has literally lost every single match he's in for the past year. Immediately gets a title shot. Where is the rage?
Long-term storytelling.
Says AEW Dynamite tomorrow on TBS. In of itself, don't get me wrong. You're a promoter. You're the president, the CEO. You're in charge of everything because you've got a god complex. And you decide to take shots across the bow at the rival promotion.
They're beating you, by the way.
Not even that. Let's not even get to that. about who's facing their champion, and you're upset because your second generation superstar who's like barely out of high school, and no disrespect to Hook, I like Hook, but your second generation superstar barely out of high school versus a guy who's paid his dues and been doing some of the dumbest things on the planet over the course of his career is getting a title shot on Monday Night Raw. If that's the only tweet, you're a jackass, but we can live. But was it the only tweet? No, it wasn't. Because then somebody Raj Girl said, these guys do have history. Seth Rollins defeated Jinder Mahal in the tournament finals to become the first NXT champion. USA Network replied to the tweet, said, what was the cage match rating? Tony Khan retweets the USA.
That's what started it all, honestly.
Retweets the USA and goes, a moral victory for USA is one win more than their world title challenger Jinder Mahal has in the past 364 days. Because it's been literally a full year since he won a match. You really put AEW in our place, getting Jinder Mahal in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often. Oh my God, are you salty? Tell me you're salty about not having a TV deal without telling me you're salty.
You know what
not
this
having
feels
a TV
like?
Deal.
You know what this feels like?
Huh?
This feels like WCW all over again with the
social media.
Well, Mick Foley's winning. Don't tune in.
I mean, pretty much. This feels like that's gonna put a lot of asses in the seats.
Now everybody's gonna want to tune into Jinder versus Seth.
Him. So then Eric Bischoff, because somebody replies to the coach. Hold on, the coach retweets Tony Khan, and I'm gonna probably miss some steps here, but I'm trying my best. The coach retweets Tony Khan and goes, we also used to get amused at fans who counted wins like wrestlers, quote unquote, earned them. Hell, if Vince won it, I could have been world champion, but the storyline didn't support it. It's about the story, clearly not wins in a predetermined space. Thought a boss would understand that. So Mikey replies to coach's tweet and says, Tony forgets he literally gave Abaddon a title shot after being off AEW TV for over a year. The same exact situation as Jinder. So then
Tony replied to that one too.
Does he?
Yes. He goes, well, she came back and won a match or some shit.
I haven't gotten there yet. Hold on. Okay. Eric Bischoff retweets this and goes, hey, Tony Khan, is this true or is it a bot? And so this is where Tony responds to it. He goes, no, Eric Bischoff, not true at all. Abaddon returned to AEW Plus, then won a 4-way match on TNT against other great wrestlers to earn a title shot, which is completely different than someone going in a full year, losing every match they're in, plus getting a title shot without a single win. Reading would be your friend, Eric.
Now, my question is, real quick, what gives her the right to be in that fatal 4-way with all these other women that have been there longer than her? Since she was out for, to me, it feels the same as the whole Jinder situation that he was trying to bring up.
It's just dumb.
It is. It's completely dumb,
right? Like, first and foremost, okay. What do you gain for going after somebody like number one, going after somebody like Jinder Mahal? No disrespect to Jinder Mahal whatsoever,
mm-hmm.
right? But what do you gain? Why now, all of a sudden, on a random Tuesday in 2024, the week of your 5-year anniversary, are you going to take shots at Jinder Mahal?
Not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I think that was a match that everybody was just going to be like, it's Monday night. He's not winning big one.
I'm watching it out of spite.
No. And then he wants to go and pull his bullshit. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's like, fuck it. Let's watch it. Screw AEW. I'm sorry. AEW, let's not watch it anymore. Let's go ahead and watch this match.
I'm literally going to watch the match out of spite.
I hope Jinder wins.
We'll get to that later. But okay, again though, like this is what I've been saying, and I'm so glad that this happened this week on the 5-year anniversary of AEW's debut and all that other jazz, right? Because what have I been touting for 5 years when it comes to this putt? That he doesn't get what he's doing. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand that he is the president and CEO of a major wrestling promotion. You do not act this way. You do not take shots at other wrestlers on other promotions.
Look at Vince. He never once took shots on
Forget Vince. Look at Triple H, one of the most active members of the WWE management team on social media. You don't take, no one took a shot when CM, and all right, I say no one, and because it doesn't register in my mind on social media. I know shots were taken on air, and that's okay, that's fun, it's humorous, it's whatever, because you're sneaking them in there. You're not name dropping somebody. That's a big deal. You name drop Jinder.
Yep.
Right? So, no one said anything when Punk came out. No one said anything when Edge came out. No one said anything when Ric Flair walked out. Well, I said a lot when Ric Flair walked out. I still say a lot when Ric Flair walks out. But my point being here...
You said a lot when he gifted Sting a person.
Shut up. I could do a whole show on things Tony Khan has messed up. But we're trying to be positive, right?
The power of positivity.
Even Laurinaitis was better.
People power.
But my point being, right? I agree to the point. We kind of got away with it because I set the stage, I set the story, and then I just got on a tirade, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna take the lead here. I agree to the poll. You should be held to a higher standard, right? I don't normally go to the comments, but this is just. Where's my mouse? Wesley goes, I purchased and drank the Ric Flair energy drink. Don't do it. I gotta ask. I have to ask. Bad taste or horrible side effects? While you figure that out, and we'll go back through the comments. There's a lot up there because Wesley had a good comment earlier. There's a couple things from Don and Greg and all these guys. We'll get there. I couldn't pass that one up. But Tony should be held to a higher standard because you are the boss. You are the head honcho. You are the one signing paychecks. Okay? And it's different when you want to take a subtle shot versus taking a blatant shot at you're not taking a shot at the company. You are, but you aren't. Because you're not saying WWE.
Yep.
You're taking a shot at Jinder. Again, why?
You just made Jinder a bigger star than Hook.
Right, if anything, you killed Hook. Any momentum? Gone. No OGP, correct. He did have a little power issue tonight with all the windstorms and everything like that. A lot of our guys have suffered from no powers and everything like that. We wish everybody up north that are suffering from not having power or any damage that they've had to their homes. I'm being serious for a minute. Will you get it together? We hope everything is okay for those people and they get power restored very quickly. You have the worst timing.
I read a comment.
The Godfather chimed in earlier, said, let's go. Poe from Hockey Happy Hour said, what's up, fam? Tony losing it. Several top talents said to be embarrassed by his behavior, as they should be. Wesley said, Tony's helping podcasts, USA Network, WWE, everything but AEW. Again, I couldn't have said it better myself. Robert says, hey, Butters, where's your elf costume? I didn't forget. I did. But I am now very intrigued.
I am too. I don't.
Wesley said, Hook being 28-1 in AEW is like me winning the Super Bowl with the Falcons on Madden. Greg Malagman said, what's up, fellas? Agree to the poll. Just like the Jaguars, AEW is a mess. That's a good shot. Don, what's up, Don? Says, always good seeing my guys. It's good seeing you too, buddy.
Don.
And then, side effects. I ain't going there. Short version, Wesley did not like it. But and this right here, right? I bring this back up. Wesley had some really good comments tonight. Hook being 28-1 in AEW is like me winning the Super Bowl with the Falcons on Madden. So you're gonna bash somebody who has lost every match he's ever been in over the last year. Again, in a predetermined space. But yet, your entire company touts themselves. Oh my God, I think he's right.
I think he is.
We're going to get to that. Hold on. Stay right there, Robert. Just prides themselves on their win-loss record in a predetermined setting. Who are you trying to fool?
I was about to say, and don't it reset every year? Or supposed to?
That makes it dumber.
I'm just saying, I know for a while they were having it reset every year.
Which, well, it doesn't make it dumber, right? Because if you have seasons like you do, it just proves my point that it's the NFL of professional wrestling. Everybody's on a team. Everybody's in a faction, right? We've got divisions and conferences. We had the dumbest bracket tournament, G1. It was like the Wish.com version of the G1 Climax.
But
just to say, before the tournament even starts, my name's Eddie Kingston, and I'm going to put both my titles on the line just so at the end of it I can win a third. Why am I watching it?
To your point, predetermined is just... It's dumb to say I'm going to have, 28-1, 20, undefeated streak. As to your point, it's all predetermined. The coach's point, it's all predetermined.
Like and everybody was all up in arms when Goldberg was like 150-0 or something like that. Look, it hadn't been done before. But now it seems like once in every 5 years, somebody goes on an impressive undefeated run. So Robert says, Butters, you said if Punk comes out, you will wear an elf costume. It was on the show before or something. Oh, I think I know the show he's talking about. Because the poll question, I'm like 90% certain.
I think it was the Friday night before Survivor Series.
I think it was the very night before Survivor Series. Yep. So we did 2 shows. I want to say the poll question that night was CM Punk will show up at Survivor Series.
Yep. I'm remembering now.
Oh, I don't know if I can do a show with you in an elf costume. I'll be real fair with that. I feel like you should work a day in the shop in the elf costume.
Oh, my mother came to Christmas like my brother's in an elf costume.
There are some things you should never ever say on this show. That's one of them. I think you should work a day in the shop in the elf costume, and we can have people get footage for a reel on the main page. If not the main page, definitely our page. That literally makes me very happy.
I totally forgotten about it.
I did too, but I'm not going to now. But all right, so I've been running my mouth for the last 20 minutes because I can get on a soapbox with Tony Khan. It's the only it's probably one of the few topics I can just rant about.
Your mouth's like 7-Eleven. It never closes.
But it's one of the few topics that, well, when you have a co-host that for the longest time just can't support you. Ding, ding. Anyway, I love you, buddy. But when Tony Khan's just one of those things that I can just literally run my mouth about because he infuriates me so much.
Oh, we know. We know.
So I'm gonna give you the floor. Agree, disagree. I swear to God, Butters. It's 20 minutes and 30 seconds we've been on the air. If you say I agree to the poll and not say another word, I am flying across this room.
I agree.
I'm gonna
I couldn't help it. You started it.
I know.
Yes, no, I do agree to the poll. Tony Khan should be held to a higher standard as the CEO, CFO, UFO. I don't know. Look, every big top brass dog is always even held themselves to higher standards. Triple H, Vince McMahon. If they're on social media, it's something positive, and they're not retweeting something. They're not replying to somebody. It's just something about the company or for the company, and that's it.
Right.
Tony Khan's got so much more to worry about than Jinder freaking Mahal.
Preach.
He's got idiotic superstars in his, in the back wanting to fight each other. He's got superstars doing BS they shouldn't be doing. He's got the damn Jaguars to worry about. Like, come on. You're blowing all your daddy's money. That's another person you got to worry about is your own daddy because you're blowing his money. So why are you bringing the company down by responding to BS comments?
Brian Daly says, not only should Khan be held to a higher standard, he should be setting the standard.
Lead by example. Exactly. 100%. 100%.
That might be the quote of the show, and Daly's not even on the show.
Hey, I'll take it. But I try to give Tony credit, or I try to give Tony,
Why?
because I hope something clicks in his dome, and he actually does what he's supposed to, runs the company right. But it's stuff like this that just goes,
It just blows up in your face, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I want AEW to succeed.
I don't.
I do because competition is good.
I don't. A strong comment. I don't want to see Tony Khan succeed.
You want to see AEW succeed without Tony Khan?
Yes.
There we go.
Exactly what I want. and I've been touting this too. Tony Khan should step back from the day-to-day of AEW, put somebody in his position to run the company, run the daily operations of the wrestling business. You want to be the one that goes and sits in on the TV production deal meeting, the TV deal meetings. You want to sit in on an advertisement deal meetings. You want to sit in on contract negotiations for certain stars. You want to be the end all be all of things, fine. But when it comes to the product specifically, stay away. You have clearly shown you are not the guy to be handling this.
You've got plenty of great minds that can, so that you may step back and watch. You might step in every once in a blue moon. Just say, "Oh, I don't think that'll work. I don't think that's safe enough," or something. Something that measurably, yes, you need to step in for. But for the most part, you got plenty of people on that roster that can take over for you, that can run that show, and you can just go, "Good job, yeah, I like it."
And you can put your focus where it needs to be.
Correct. Focus in a new TV deal. Focus
because you don't have one.
Yep. No TV deal means what? No
you-
show.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You within 5 years' time, and this is what's astonishing to me. You don't have a TV deal. You're one step removed from being Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Because Impact was streaming for like 2 or 3 years. You didn't have a TV deal.
Mhm.
Which streaming's not bad, but you're not gonna because you're gonna make people pay for it.
Yeah, you got to figure a platform for people to pay for it. And what is it? I think Amazon was looking into get Raw and have it stream on Amazon.
I don't know what I would do. I would like I would like that, but I would get really scared that becomes a paywall kind of thing within Amazon, like an extra.
And this is just me, but I'm honestly surprised that they don't put it on Peacock.
I can't, and this is a whole different conversation for another day.
No, yeah.
The rise and fall of the WWE network, and just how much of a missed opportunity that was in the long run. What they could have done with it, what they could have turned it into, and they did a really good job for a while. That might be one of those like downtime shows we do.
Yeah, I mean the beginning was rough, but yeah, what they did with it up until Peacock was great. But Tony, after this week, I think you need to step back a moment, bud, and just think about life, think about things, think about your actions. You know, you want to call yourself a great promoter? Yeah, pause social media for a bit. Step back. If you got announcements, just say that on you know.
And what's so frustrating with him on social media is you've got a live show going on, and you are tweeting during your show. Focus on your show. Now, granted, to some extent, actually, I can't say this sentence because I was gonna say maybe it's not Tony doing it during the shows, but then now who's getting fired for the comments against Jinder? Oh wait, that was really you. So then it creates such a convoluted background. We're gonna go to commercial break because to be fair, this really fires me up. Everything that happened with Tony Khan, it makes me legitimately mad. If you want me to be honest with you, and that's not what I'm aiming for today. We're going to come back after the commercial break. We're going to talk Jinder, Seth Rollins. We're going to talk our thoughts and predictions on that match. We will see you guys in just about 30 seconds, I think is the runtime. Yeah, 30 seconds. We will be right back.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor, and fun. Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
And we are back. We want to thank Royal Billiard for sponsoring this section of the show. Find all your game room or man cave needs at royalbilliard.com. Let's go, Seth and Jinder Mahal for the WWE World Heavyweight title on Monday Night Raw. First time in a while we've seen a true at least I say true championship match on Monday Night Raw. One where it's not tied into a bigger overarching story and it's not tied into, oh, we know the Judgment Day or somebody's going to run down and get involved, right? I think we see some interference somewhere because I think in my head, no disrespect to Jinder, part of me says we're feeding Jinder to Seth to get him either to the Royal Rumble or through the Royal Rumble so that way we can start building for Elimination Chamber with the fallout of the Rumble.
I mean, yeah. And you could honestly, and you can hate me for saying this, But you could honestly have Jinder win this match, win the win the world title, and in just 2 weeks have Seth take it back. It gives Seth something to do through the Rumble. It kind of
Here's the problem with that, right? Seth's been the only champion.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. You're gonna take the title away from Seth, put it on Jinder Mahal. Good, bad, or indifferent.
You did it with The Miz and Bobby Lashley.
Here's what's different, though. They weren't the first champion.
I get that.
So here's where I'm going with this. To turn around 2 weeks later and put it back on Seth. Now you're telling me this title has no credibility.
You did it with Edge and Cena.
Again, this is where you're missing the point. They were not the first title holders.
I get that.
I don't think you do. Right? We're not talking about when Cena first debuted the spinner belt or anything like that. We're talking about this is a brand new title for this brand, for this era.
Mm-hmm.
You put the title on Seth in July?
Somewhere along
summertime. You put the title on him in the summertime. You have not let him be beat for 6 months. And on a random Monday Night Raw, because in all fairness, it's a random Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to lose the title. Again, no disrespect to Jinder, but Jinder Mahal. When you look at the cast of characters that he has gone up against,
mm-hmm.
in Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Nakamura, Finn Balor, I think that's it. Jey Uso.
Therein lies the surprise factor.
And don't get me wrong.
Because you're not expecting it.
Don't get me wrong. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I look bigger picture with it. I look higher level with it. And I'm not looking at the who necessarily. I'm looking at the what. I'm looking at the title. And what does that title mean now? Because we always want to sit here, and everybody wants to do it. Us, any other wrestling podcast, Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, the superstars themselves, everybody wants to talk about the credibility of the title. The title means everything. So if the title means everything, then how can you tell me it's okay for me to hold on to this title for 6 months, beat everybody? You beat me again on a random Monday night. Just for 2 weeks later, I get to take it back. If this was real, and we were really fighting, and we didn't know who was winning at the end of it all, okay, sure. You got lucky one night, kid. We're telling a story. But what does this story tell us? That's where my bigger problem is. The only way this makes sense, Seth loses the title to Jinder. Damian cashes in on Jinder. Damian takes the title to the Royal Rumble. Borderline doesn't defend it at the Royal Rumble. Because we have Roman defending his title at the Royal Rumble. The winner of the Royal Rumble, Seth enters the Royal Rumble. Screw it, right? Because Seth is a workhorse that you can put in the Royal Rumble and he can go the distance if you need him to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? For argument's sake, Cody wins the Royal Rumble. Okay? We know Cody's going to look at Roman or whoever has that title. Okay? Now Damian can start building around the Elimination Chamber. Why do you want Damian to have the title going in the Elimination Chamber? Because it puts the Judgment Day front and center in Australia. Short of ending the show with Rhea Ripley, Judgment Day will be front and center for Australia.
Yeah. You could go there.
It's the only way, storyline wise, it's the only way this makes sense to me. Because anything else, one, it's disrespectful to Jinder. And again, after everything that has gone on in the last few days, right? That's not fair to him. And again, he put in the work over the years. He's put up with a lot of dumb stuff. Okay? So one, to some extent, it's disrespectful to Jinder. It's a good test of his character because he'll actually go out and dare and do the job and he understands what needs to be done and he'll do it. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But then, right? What does that do to Seth's character? Because realistically, this is a guy who hasn't been in a main title match in a year, and he got lucky.
Yep.
Do you stay cocky or do you get humbled? Not that Seth's a bad kind of cocky, right? Or are you humbled to the point of depression? So Robert says, how do you get the Punk versus Rollins in that situation?
Rollins wins the chamber. CM Punk comes out the next night on Raw to challenge him at WrestleMania.
Or Punk's in the chamber. It comes down to Damian Punk Seth, right? Punk has it locked up, right? He's going to eliminate Damian from the match, this, that, and the other thing. Eliminates Damian, and Rollins turns around with a curb stomp as he's getting up, or while he's pinning Damian, curb stomps him. Because Punk's still got Damian covered. Right, you do the 3, curb stomp, roll Punk over, pin Punk. It's not a clean way to get there. It's a rocky, bumpy, oh God, right? But I'm trying, in all fairness, Robert, like I'm trying to take what Butters is saying of Jinder winning and try to make some kind of storyline sense about it. Jinder winning, though, Seth not having the title going into the Rumble does mess a lot, as you can just clearly tell. It does convolute a lot of things.
No, here's how you do it. You have Jinder win.
Great question, by the way, Robert.
Yeah, 100%. You have Jinder win. Seth takes some time off till Chamber because his injuries have caught up to him. He's been a workhorse. He has not stopped.
Right.
100% keeps going. Injuries have caught up. He gets put in the Chamber. You have Jinder. He can defend it. Rumble, he cannot. He can do whatever. He keeps the belt till Chamber. Damian's still going to have the briefcase. You have Seth win back the world title. You have CM Punk come out the next night on Raw, challenging to WrestleMania. Use their history, use their background.
I like that less than I like mine, and I don't really like mine.
But you have Seth take
the reason being, I think Seth will need some time off, right? I think that's warranted.
You rest him till Chamber, and to your point, you could have,
but you can't have Jinder be the champion for that long.
Fine, you have Damian come out that same night on Raw, cash in, boom, done.
Dude, I said that already.
And I said to your point.
But we're getting away from Robert's question. How do you get to Punk versus Rollins? So
you have Rollins come back in the Chamber.
But then Punk coming out the next night.
It's a huge pop.
It's going to get a huge pop regardless. That's not the problem.
I almost had you in the Chamber.
Oh, so in your scenario, Punk. So it's my scenario, just slightly different.
Yeah.
That's not inventive.
It still works.
Mine still work too. You just wanted to sound smart, didn't you?
I am smart.
I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT. I mean SMART. Name the show.
Simpsons.
Had a boy. But
Just saying.
so when we think about WrestleMania, because now everything we do, and I say we, everything they do, you have to think WrestleMania.
Unfortunately.
No, I don't say unfortunately to that. I think it's smart that you start thinking about WrestleMania in January.
I guarantee you they start thinking of WrestleMania by like SummerSlam.
I'm talking about on air,
Okay.
right? On air, you start making more. Everything you do on air matters to the WrestleMania card, and I like that it starts in January. Because anything later would feel rushed. Anything before would feel way too drawn out. I think starting to plant the seeds in January is a good thing.
I mean, I feel like they're planting seeds for Miz and R-Truth to take the titles at Mania.
Who else said that to me? I think Silent Hill said that to me today too, and somebody said it to me this morning.
Yeah,
and I
think I've seen it somewhere.
I'm so sold on that. Truth is a national treasure that should be cherished, loved, and treated with kind and with.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, tomorrow.
Bro, that's what we need.
Hold on.
No. Just we need R-Truth to come out at the Hall of Fame this year and try to accept the Hall of Fame. Come on, you know you want it to. Thank you for this induction.
And he has to do it. If Heyman gets inducted this year, which I really hope that Heyman gets inducted in Philly this year. I get that he's still active. I get it. But my God, if there was ever a night and a place and a time and like we're gonna have a show that night. Obviously for the Hall of Fame. Like for we'll do a show before WrestleMania. If Heyman's getting inducted, I don't know if we're gonna do a show till we may do one during the day on Saturday at that point. I don't know. Because that's a speech.
Mm-hmm.
That's a moment I want to watch. But you have to have Rollins champion between now and Mania.
He will be coming out of Chamber.
I don't think so. I don't think you can. At that point, just do what we're doing with Roman. If you need him to take time off, just do what you're doing with Roman. Right? You don't have Roman on every single week.
So
what are you looking up?
Elimination Chamber. You give him a month off.
But you could do that without taking the title off of him. You've proven it with Roman. Right? Gunther's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so there's your if you want a title presence on Raw, who's better than Gunther? Robert, sidebar, do you see Seth as an all-time great? Absolutely.
100%.
What would make me very happy? Seth, Roman, and Dean, or John Moxley, all go into the Hall of Fame. And they do it for the first time ever as individuals and as a group.
All on the same night?
On the same night.
I could see it. I could dig it.
I would thoroughly enjoy that. You don't have to give them all you give them time to do individual speeches and then talk about the group. That could be one big block. right? But all right, we're gonna go to another commercial break. When we come back, we'll touch on some other things in wrestling this week. I'm sure we have some gripes to talk about. One can only imagine. So we'll be right back after this word from Carlinos.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
And we're back. We want to thank our friends at Carlinos for sponsoring this section of the show. Shop Carlinos Italian food online for things like gourmet cheeses, meats, olives, and gift baskets. Elevate your dining experience with Carlinos Gourmet Italian Deli. Discover the taste of Italy now. It is such a dangerous commercial.
Especially when one is hungry.
It's so dangerous. Don, that food looked good, didn't it? Looked awesome.
Every time. Looks amazing every time.
So you're usually my This Week in Wrestling guy. And what I love about this part is I never know what you're going to bring up. Some stuff I've seen, some stuff I've heard about. Most of it I don't know. I don't know why we just don't call it. Like, granted, when Pete's here, sometimes he's got stuff too. I don't know why we just don't call it like Ritz Reacts or something like that. All right. What do you want to talk about?
So this first bit has to do with AEW. Sorry, sir. Sting's last match. You heard of his possible his opponent?
If it's what I think it is, with the Bucks, I don't hate it. You want to know why? Oh, wait a minute. No, I could hate this.
So hey, let me set the ground.
No, hold on. I know what happens. I know. I've watched the segment.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Tony wants to give Sting whatever he wants for this match. Tony's saying, Sting, whatever you want, this is your match. Sting loved his match with the Bucks and back in 2022. So he now wants Sting and Darby versus the Bucks for his final match.
If that's the match, I'm perfectly okay with it. If for whatever reason it becomes the Bucks versus Sting and Ric Flair, we're not doing the show.
Well, from my understanding, he'll be in the corner. Supposedly he's not wrestling, period.
He better not.
But the way everybody's talking is the way everybody sees it and everybody's kind of agreeing is Super Kick Party, similar to Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, from both the Bucks to Sting.
I don't hate that.
I'm shocked. Holy shit. Sorry. Every time I do an AEW segment, you usually pop off, but this one seems
but because it's Sting's last match, and you do a lot within this match right here.
Mm-hmm.
You within this grouping, you honor the bond and the relationship that you've had with Darby Allin.
Yep.
Right, and you give Darby that hey, thank you for sticking with me through all of this. Thank you for letting me be a part of your journey, but thank you for also being a part of mine. Right? You take the Bucks, who are one of the greatest tag teams in AEW, and somebody you've done it with before, but it's not beaten to a dead horse like Sting versus Jericho.
correct.
Right? And you're looking to the future, and you're looking to two people who can make you look phenomenal.
And he's, what I said a while ago, he loved his match with him before, so he knows they can pull off
Right.
something magical for a
with
last
it,
match.
and it helps with this. It's his last gift to the wrestling industry because you saw a difference in the Bucks Wednesday night when they walked out. This whole yin and yang kind of look they had, but very clean.
Yes.
In comparison to some of the other things that they've come out to, and the ways they've come out over the years. Your last gift is to be a part of this transition for them. So I won't lie to you. I was scared. I thought he was gonna say Rick. There was a part of me when Tony Schiavone's in the ring. All right, Stinger, who is it gonna be? And he glances, and I went, "Oh God, no!"
Somebody come up with the bright idea of, well, what if it's the Bucks and comes down to Bucks and Sting, and Flair gets in the ring and low blow and Sting's down for the count.
I want to plane.
And aligns himself with the Bucks.
I want to plane.
That's the reaction.
I'm on a plane.
So let's move over to SmackDown for a second.
Tonight's SmackDown?
Yes, in a sense.
Oh, please tell me it's what I think it is.
So, Karrion Kross.
I love this job.
His new faction is now named the Final Testament.
Wish.com Judgment Day. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
And they're taking on Bobby Lashley and Montez
Street Profits.
and the Street Profits. There we go. But apparently,
No. You're not going to say that on air because if that's putting that out in the universe, I will not justify that with a response.
What?
No, you are not. No,
it's been everywhere.
I don't care. No, it's stupid. No,
And when it fully comes out as their real name,
I will address it then. But
so we'll address the Final Testament.
Don't get me wrong. I don't hate the name.
It goes along with the Book of Ellering, so I mean,
It fits. And the author's a pain.
Mhm.
Okay.
I love
One
it. I can't wait.
side, you have the Final Testament. Great. Awesome. Cool. A guy, a girl, a tag team,
A manager.
a manager. On the other side, you've got the Judgment Day. A guy, a girl, a tag team, a manager. Dark and broody. Angsty teenage vibes. Dark and broody. Angsty teenage vibes. The manager. Well, let me phrase that. A tag team. Why? A tag team. Why? Your lead guy. I have cakes downstairs that have more just pizzazz than you do. There's no cake downstairs. There's just boxes of cake mix. Your lead guy over here is one step removed from vanilla extract.
How about we combine forces of the two teams and call them the Final Judgment Day?
No. I don't understand when we were putting everyone when you put the Judgment Day together and you put them on Raw and you let them go. Awesome. You acknowledged on the fact over on SmackDown, you have a heel faction in the Bloodline, but they're all wrapped up in one storyline and one aspect of things. They're not doing for you what the Judgment Day is doing on Raw. You need that evil force,
Yeah. I mean,
but still has some
the bloodline's slowly breaking down.
right, and that still has a little comedy to it now with the whole R-Truth bit. So you bring in Karrion Kross and Scarlett, you bring in Paul Ellering, you bring in the Authors of Pain, and you call them the Final Testament. Nobody said, "Hey, that sounds a lot like what we're calling the Judgment Day."
But put one's on SmackDown and one's on Raw, so it's good, right?
Hey, that sounds like a lot with what we're doing with the Judgment Day.
But one's on.
I'll tell you right now, their colors are blue and purple. Because you got black and purple on Raw. They are blue and purple.
I think they're just straight up black is their color. What? They were all dressed in black.
No, I know. Here comes the man in black.
I mean, they might as well call themselves that.
Because just one little beep, you forget all about it.
But now we have this feud going on with Lashley and the Street Profits.
What a twist this was, too. Because 3 weeks ago, Lashley and the Street Profits were bad guys.
And now on the internal roster, they are now faces again.
And, like, I sneezed and they became faces. Huh?
Well, after they got attacked, nobody could take them serious as a heel faction. So
I wasn't taking them serious as a heel faction to begin with.
I get that, but they were trying.
If you would have had the Street Profits come out any other way,
Oh, and it looks like B-Fab's with them too now.
fine. A guy, a girl, and a tag.
I didn't think about that.
You can't write this.
It's AEW's factions all over again.
You can't write this, man.
It's the battle of the factions.
And we're doing it in reverse on NXT. If you think about it, look at Chase U. A guy, two girls, and the manager.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I thought you were going. Never
Well, a
mind.
guy, a girl tag team, and a manager.
A guy, a girl, and a tag team. Bless you. A guy, a girl, and a tag team.
Oh man, Robert, why would Truth try to join that faction? Oh my God, that Rumble spot.
Speaking of R-Truth,
Hold on, there's the Rumble spot. They're doing a backstage segment like Final Testament, whatever have you, and Truth just walks into the shot wearing a Judgment Day T-shirt, acting like they're members of the Judgment Day. Oh,
bless
God.
you. Bless you, bless you, bless
Thank
you.
you. All right, so speaking of R-Truth,
Speaking of R-Truth, did you catch his promo Monday night?
so no, because I went and watched the national championship game. Believe it or not,
What?
guys from work went out. I heard it's the best though.
For an AI generated video, it was the best.
The video was AI generated.
Yes.
That makes it better.
For what they had to do, it was worth it.
Now I need to go watch it.
And then on top of that, now R-Truth releases new shirts, and he is now the #1 merchandise seller.
Yes, I love it. It makes me happy.
But at some point on Raw Monday night, Damian Priest said he would deal with the R-Truth issue. So it looks like a beat down to R-Truth may be coming down.
Which cue the Miz, Awesome Truth takes the title.
Correct. Which I'm down for.
I really feel like I have to sneeze again.
Oh dear Lord. Sneezy McSneezerton over
I
here.
don't know what just set off all of this. This sucks. It's like allergies.
What allergies? It's like 50 degrees outside, 40 degrees outside.
I think I interacted with somebody today that had a dog,
Okay.
and I'm allergic to dogs. But I can't trace it. But like the feeling I feel up here. My eyes are burning right now, and
Mhm.
that's my universal sign for my allergies are screwed. So as soon as this show goes off the air, I'm popping a Claritin.
Popping pills and going to bed. Oh yeah.
Oh no, I'm going out.
Oh.
Unexpected places.
Oh damn.
But no, I'm definitely okay with Truth being the number one merchandise seller. Did you see the Punk Drew McIntyre promo to open Raw?
No, I did not get open Raw till like I think about 45-ish minutes in.
Incredible.
I'll have to go back and watch
I
it.
think WWE on USA or WWE on Fox, one of the YouTube channels, has it in its entirety.
Mhm.
Drew starts the show. Awesome. Really doing that callback stuff. Mentions Punk's name. Punk comes down, says, "Hey, I'm here. Floor's yours." Right? Drew, again, very impassion filled promo. Right? Starts taking shots at Punk, but none of them are really like
Landing?
wrong.
Oh.
And at one point, he says, "You're not the demon," because they're talking about like demons. You don't have demons. You are the demon, right? Referring to the demon through the locker room. Whatever. Punk mentions at one time, the straight edge society, right? He goes, I wish I had it in my head all night Monday because I thought it was an absolutely phenomenal promo, but so much has happened this week that I just, yeah, but you have to go back and watch it. I think that's going to be something that really takes us. It's going to be what keeps Punk going through the next few weeks. His interaction with Drew. Don, I'll get to it in just a second. I meant to address it earlier. I saw you commented it earlier. I do apologize for missing it. We were kind of on a roll with things. But seriously, you have to go back and watch it. Like at the end, Punk hits him. Doesn't hit him. Like there's no physical interaction. That last line from Punk, though, I was like, ooh, damn. So Don goes, question for y'all. When do y'all think Priest cashing in the Money in the Bank? Start with you.
Monday night. After the match.
Part of me says if Jinder wins, he cashes.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of me says Chamber.
I mean, he keeps...
Or dare I say
Mania.
I
mean, he keeps trying to cash it in, and somebody always seems to screw him out of that match.
Yep.
One way, shape, or form.
Something
happens. Somebody interferes. Just like what was it last week or this week? It was Drew McIntyre coming out and stopping him. Damien cannot catch a break trying to cash in.
You know what would be really interesting for me? We never talked about it because it's never happened. He never cashes it in.
Oh, so you're talking expiration.
It expires. He never gets the opportunity to cash it in.
We've never had it.
Never had it.
Never at all.
Never at all. Don says, would he do it during a Roman match? No, I don't think they're
chance.
Keeping it so far away from Rome. It's the only reason why they introduced the title. It's because they didn't want, like the World Heavyweight title, they didn't want, anybody to go after Roman's championship. That's why. Hold on, Robert. Who won it last year?
I don't remember.
Look that up. Robert goes, what if Cody and him had a match for it and Cody win? You know what? I actually kind of alluded to that, I think, last week, where he would do a match with somebody, it would be for the briefcase. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I realistically, I don't see them doing it.
That's right.
What?
Theory.
Oh, yeah. Theory. And then he used it for the U.S. title, didn't he?
And failed.
Yeah. So
It's
not a bad idea, Robert. Like I said, I think it was last week I pitched this. Last week or the week before.
Because if Punk wins Rumble, this is how you get Cody Roman.
Yup. That was I think actually the conversation we had.
I think so too. I mean, a little fuzzy, but yeah, no, this is how you would get Cody Roman, because Cody can just go, hey, me, you, Mania.
For the briefcase. Never been done before at Mania.
Yeah. They've always, every time they win it, they always say, hey, I'm going to hold it till Mania and cash in at Mania. Seth cashed it in during Mania, but we really haven't had many people just go straight up to the champ and go, hey, I'm cashing in on this date.
Braun did it and failed miserably.
Cena did it and won, but I'm saying we haven't had very many.
Yeah.
Most people just wait for that opportune time and cash in their title shot.
The man says, I think that Austin Theory Hayes injury was real tonight on SmackDown. Yeah, because they stopped the match.
Yeah, but WWE came out and said they're fine. They just had some face contusions.
Oh, did they?
Yes. Right as we went on air.
Yeah, following their match, this was 48 minutes ago. Following their match tonight on SmackDown, Theory and Carmella were evaluated for injuries they both suffered, face contusions, and will be okay.
See? All is golden in the WWE.
Yeah.
Speaking of cash-ins.
What?
What about the NXT cash-in? Do you think... No.
You're a rat.
No. This is leading to my question. Do you think the cash-in is overdone?
No.
Because people winning these title shots for at any opportunity, any time, do you think cash-ins are overdone?
No, I don't, because Money in the Bank has been a constant variable in the world of WWE for years. I think that NXT needed something like this.
And that's what you get with the breakout, of course.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I think NXT needed something like this.
TNA's done it with Feast or Fired.
Well, and they did it with the X Division title.
Mm-hmm.
Leading into, I think it was leading into Bound for Glory. You could trade in the X Division title for a title shot.
Correct.
So no, I don't think it's overdone, because it's done in the right aspects, right? Like there are good intentions behind it. It's not like we're having a tournament to have a tournament to just say, okay, here's a new title.
Correct. But no, that was my. I know where you're getting at, but I wasn't going there. My more so was going where did you think overdone and dry?
What?
Never mind.
That might have been the dumbest thing you've uttered all year.
The year's just begun, folks.
My point. Oma, I think, was pushed over into winning the North American title. I didn't like him cashing in and winning the North American title, because no disrespect to him, I've just recently started hearing about this guy. You've not made me invested enough. Because the breakout tournament was like 2 weeks. It wasn't even a tournament. Right? You've not made me invested in this guy enough to believe that he could beat Dragon Lee.
He's just a big guy.
Yeah. Right? Big whoop.
And I mean, the only thing it did for him was he made history being the first NIL signee to win a title.
NIL.
The college.
Oh, that's right. They call the college thing NIL.
I can't remember what it stands for.
No. I know. Now I know what you're talking about.
But he's the first NIL signee. Yeah. Surprised it wasn't Gabe Stevenson.
Because he bombed.
But
Splat.
This is true. Very true.
What did Gabe Stevenson's WWE run and Tebow's baseball career have in common? They both went nowhere fast.
And he was a number 1 draft pick.
I said baseball career. The man played football.
I'm talking about Stevenson. Oh,
Stevenson wasn't the number 1 draft pick.
I could have sworn he was like Raw's number 1 draft pick.
No.
No.
Maybe like in that specific round. I think Seth went first because Seth.
Okay, I could be wrong.
I just also the guy that took Tamina Snuka at 13.
Yeah.
So, all right, what else you got for me?
That's it for me.
All right, what do you got for running?
I don't do running.
Neither do I.
Godzilla Kong got pushed up.
Woo.
Hey, I'm excited.
You know what I'm actually really excited for? And I don't have a system to play it on, I don't think. I'm really looking forward to this Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League game.
I am too.
Because I read things about the game, and then I've seen some of the things that have come out, and I'm like, that doesn't match. How did you become that?
Now, I did read a lot of comments from the people that were the beta testers. Like, they didn't like the game. They had different aspects of it they did like, but the majority was like, it was no.
Yeah, but nobody ever likes the beta.
This
I
is
played
true.
a lot of betas.
This is true.
And like Overwatch beta, I didn't like. The Halo betas that I would get my hands on back in the day, I didn't like them. We had a Battlefield beta at one point, Battlefield 1. That was atrocious. But I did see that they have a plaque for Kevin Conroy in the game.
And Eileen Sorkin.
Yeah, I was going to say her next. I thought it was Arlene.
I didn't realize they were born the same year.
Yeah. I did see that they're tying it. It looks like they're tying it into, because it's Rocksteady.
Yeah.
It's tying into Arkham Knight, which I thoroughly enjoy. Because Arkham Knight, I think, was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
And the whole Batman, the Arkham series was phenomenal.
I think I've only played like the first 2.
Oh, God, you missed Arkham Knight. I beat it 5 times. I actually might see if they have it on the computer. I want to play it again. I beat it in 24 hours. I can roll that game. So very excited for that. Also, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 1 has now hit the streaming platforms.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
I have to go watch that
I will
one
be
day
watching
this
that
weekend.
tomorrow. Because I've seen clips already from it. It's already intense of what I've seen. I don't like the animation style.
Man, I could watch it Monday or Tuesday if work closes.
Because it's Justice League Final Frontier animation style, and I didn't like that. But if this kicks off the next universe of movies for me, animated movies, I'm sold. Just don't ever do a Gods and Monsters thing like you did with... No, that was dumb.
The Batman.
Oh God, it's so bad. The only good scene in that movie is, I say good, it's still bad, when the new gods kill Apocalypse and all them during the wedding. Like, it's Game of Thrones Red Wedding style. So
I feel, this weekend starts the playoffs for the NFL. I feel
remind me.
I feel so bad for the Dolphins and Chiefs.
I feel bad for the Dolphins. I don't feel bad for the Chiefs. They're used to that.
The wind alone makes it negative 30s.
Yeah, but the Chiefs, playing for the Chiefs, you understand that you're going to play in a cold environment.
Correct.
As a Dolphin in Miami, no. So, like, if the Chiefs don't roll the Dolphins,
Oh, this is gonna be a low scoring game. It's not
You know
nobody's
what?
rolling anything.
Actually, let's do this because you and I don't ever do this. Let's pull up NFL.
That's gonna be like the points ain't getting over 10 for that game for either side.
No, I think it does. All right,
It's gonna be
let's
too cold for
let's get into the bracket. Okay. All right. So,
wild card weekend.
wild card weekend. Let's do. We'll start with the AFC first because we've got a lot of weight in the NFC we won't need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We've already talked about Miami Dolphins, Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win this game.
I'm gonna go with the underdog.
You're gonna go with Dolphins on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Bills, Steelers. I honestly could care less, but I think the Bills just because the Bills are the Bills.
I know. I think the Bills take it. They've been doing pretty good this year.
Houston, Cleveland. So we live in Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. When I tell you there's a small part of me that wants to see Houston go all the way to the Super Bowl.
With a rookie QB and a rookie coach.
Yep. And one side of that
I do too.
wants to see them lose.
I want to see them get past the first round and then they can lose all they want.
No, like get all the way to the Super Bowl, get this entire city's hopes up and lose.
Oh, you're talking all the way to the Super Bowl and lose.
Yeah. On the other side, right? I'd like to see them go all the way and win. I think the city needs it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Houston Texans need it. When you look at the NFC, Rams, Lions, I want the Lions to beat the Rams. Because I've said this a few times this week. If the Eagles aren't in the Super Bowl, one, on the NFC side, anybody but the Cowboys. I'll become a Niners fan for all I care. But I would want the Lions and the Texans. Because now I care about the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, there's other teams they still got to get past after because this is just wild card.
Right. Packers, Cowboys, go Pack, go.
Yeah, because screw the Cowboys.
Exactly. Eagles, Tampa.
I want the Eagles to win all day. Baby.
I'm scared though because the Eagles didn't beat Tampa a few weeks ago.
I know.
Right? So if you can't fix the problems, right? Let me look at something. I want to print them all. Aha. Yeah, there we go. This is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because piss off. The lowest seed here
plays the Niners.
So Packers win. They play the Niners. We would go on to play the Lions or the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could roll both teams, and that finds us in the NFC title game, right? Against the Niners. I don't think the Packers beat the Niners.
No.
And I think we go to a dogfight with the Niners.
Because we're going to want it bad.
I think the Dolphins are going to beat the Chiefs. I'm sorry. No, they're not. The Chiefs are going to beat the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I think it ends up being the Texans versus the Ravens, and I don't think the Texans make it past the Ravens.
Nope. If it becomes Texans-Ravens, we're not making it.
I think the Bills beat the Chiefs. They want payback from a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Bills beat the Ravens. I'm just also not a Lamar Jackson fan at all. I think he's garbage. So it could very well be Bills-Niners
in
the Super Bowl.
Bills-Niners. You ain't going with the fan theory of the Ravens and Niners?
No, because I don't like Lamar Jackson. He's a dumpster fire.
And it was a joke. I don't know if you've heard that theory.
I have. Robert says, you guys coming to Philly for Mania? No, we are not.
Sorry, Charlie.
Tickets went on sale a lot earlier than we both were ready for. My mom had just passed, so I no way I was going to be able to fork over that money. He had his own personal things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't do it. So we're just going to do 2 nights of live reactions. We're going to do, the big panel like we did last year. have everything set up downstairs, all of that. So we've got big plans lined out for the week of WrestleMania. And so much to be
Big plans.
it'd be borderline a WrestleMania takeover of the channel. At least that weekend for sure. Yeah. So, but all right, we're gonna get out of here. Oh wait, hold on, Damien. Dolphins, Texans, AFC Championship. Rams, Niners, NFC Championship. Dolphins, Rams, Super Bowl. Dolphins win. Ooh.
This boy's getting some high hopes up.
Well, but it's Damien. He always has.
I know. He always has hot takes.
But I don't. This is one of those ones where I don't hate it.
No.
I mean, I don't know if I'd like the Dolphins winning because then that means Chrome's happy, and well, anything I can do where he's not happy.
Anything he can do to make Chrome miserable.
Just a little bit. But I don't hate that. It's different, right? It's not the same dynasty teams that we always see in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So Robert says, I was debating on going. I've never been to a wrestling show. Is it even worth sitting up top?
If it's Mania, I'd say yes.
So I did
Even though I've never been to a Mania.
I did 32 in AT&T Stadium, and we sat up pretty high.
Mhm.
The problem with that stadium, stadium or arena, because it's a dome, it was so far away, right? With the link, the way the link is set up, and how I envision it's going to look, I don't think you're going to have that problem. But I always take the opportunity to go to a show if I have it, right? I would, without question, without fail, I would be in Philly if the money was there. If money was not an issue, I would absolutely be there. Because there's nothing like it. If you've never done a wrestling show before, you absolutely should do it. Absolutely. But all right, we're getting out of here. We want to thank our sponsors, Carlino's. We want to thank our sponsor, Royal Billiards and Allen Z Travel for sponsoring all our segments tonight. Make sure you guys check them out in the links in the comments below. We will see you guys next week. Until then, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We're out of here.